Jennings, of course, and we're going to talk about law. And your phone calls are an important part of this. Let me make sure you can see Vanessa. Oh gosh, the camera's so high. Let me push it down. There she is. I wasn't sure if we were going to do live today or not. So I know you're always so busy. So good morning, Vanessa. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm well.
It's a nice day out there today. Are you into the autumn yet, or is it not? Does it not matter to you? Are you a seasonal person? Do you like the seasons?
I love Florida's 1.5 seasons.
Which is your favorite season?
The half season of winter / fall / whatever.
My favorite season
January
is
and February is
salt.
Mine would be garlic.
Is that considered a season? Salt?
It's a seasoning.
Seasoning. So everything all right in your world?
I think so.
Yeah, a lot of legal stuff. Every time you turn around, there's something legal.
There is.
Can I use the chief of police's circumstances and ask you a question?
Sure.
Okay. If somebody said that I did something, let's see, what would I say, sexually inappropriate?
Okay. So you sexually harass somebody.
Okay, what exactly would qualify? And like in his case, so obviously they just want him to get out of town just for a while the things cool down or something.
Well, are you an employer? Because there's different answers to this question.
Okay, so because he's a boss.
He's a boss of an organization that has more than 12 people. So, because if you have under 12 people, the sexual harassment law actually doesn't apply.
No way.
Really?
That doesn't make sense.
You can't use the EEOC or the FCHR.
Is that a Florida thing?
EEOC is federal.
Federal.
That is your federal rights, and then the FCHR is your state rights.
Oh.
So, but both of them have there's a minimum threshold that you have to meet. Because I did employment law for about, a year and a half, exclusively for a firm. And that was a shocker. When you walk in, they're like, yep, they have less than 12 employees. And a lot of places, and it was here in Ocala. So a lot of places here in town had, less than 12. And there's like requirements, and if they have multiple shops, you can add, and there's aggregates, and there's a whole lot of circumstances, but that is kind of your baseline. So let's say you worked at a place that had 25 people.
Well, okay.
And at that point in time, what would be sexual harassment would be anything that has to do with that person's gender. So poor Robin, I'm going to use you as an example.
Go ahead. I'm ready.
So if you touched Robin in a way that she didn't want to be touched, you can have sexual harassment. But if you treated Robin differently, but you didn't do anything inappropriate, you just treated her differently than you did all the other male cohorts, that's also sexual harassment.
Oh, that's interesting.
Really?
Yes. So if you
So Valentine's Day.
Okay.
We have 14 men and 1 woman.
Okay.
I bring the one woman a little bag of chocolates, a box. I do this every Valentine's Day. Actually,
No, you
here.
do.
I put a little thing. It's $1 or $2. I get it from Walgreens.
Right.
I put it on all the ladies' desks. I do not put on anything on any of the men's desks.
So Dan gets no chocolate from you.
No.
Dan does not get any chocolate. No.
Dan, I'm so sorry. We'll talk about
But he
this
can
later.
take Missy's. He can take Missy's chocolate.
Yeah.
And I mean
Wait,
nothing.
why are we taking away from Missy?
I mean nothing at all by it. Well, because they're married. Remember, the 2 became 1. Remember that?
That's right.
I don't think that applies to chocolate. When she's listening, she may call in and verify that statement.
So okay, but I would maybe a little extreme with that example. But does that?
Okay, I mean that's going to be a little bit. Yeah, I don't. It's not going to rise to the level. You're
Okay.
not going to be able to.
But okay, let me
get a
use
complaint out of
the
that
actual
one, but-
example from the article about the police chief.
Yes.
Okay, now I know there was more to it than this, but the first article said that he saw one of the women he works with in a photograph where her hair was down, and I guess she was looking really pretty. And then he said, "Yum yum yum," and I said, "Whoa." I would have done that same thing. That sounds like something I would do, just being goofy, I don't think I would have said yum. I don't know what I would have said, actually.
Delicious.
I don't know.
Ooh,
I don't even think I would have done that, Vanessa,
hubba?
to be honest. But
I could give you lots of examples of.
I would have
things
said, I know what I would have said. I would have said, holy cow, you really are attractive. I would have said something like that. And I don't know that would have been...
Is it the same?
Next thing I know, I'm losing my job, and
Well, no, because it's in the aggregate. You can, if you say
what
one
does that
thing
mean? What does that word mean?
in the aggregate,
Yeah.
you take it all together.
Oh.
Okay.
You look at the
Okay.
situation holistically instead of just that one specific instance.
But the charge seems to be all that it takes to get somebody knocked off the top of the ladder, whatever it is. Just say it happened.
Right, but he's also in a completely different situation. I think his work environment, one, in the aggregate, there's not just one incident, there's multiple incidents, and I'm not saying he did any, there's no,
Right.
I'm just saying, looking at the allegations, whether they're true or false, looking at them is showing that there's a pattern, there's a systematic pattern, theoretically, allegedly, all those fun words. But if it's just one instance, that's not the EEOC or FCHR when they look at because you have to go to them first. Before you ever file a lawsuit, you have to go to them, and they have 180 days to review when you're in a normal business. So they look and they look and they say yes, no, maybe so. Without their letter of determination, you can't even file a lawsuit. So, and they can say no, and you still can file a lawsuit. I mean, but the likelihood of success is
What if it's
slim.
what if the relationship is reversed? Let's say the boss is a lady, and I'm underneath her, and this happened actually. I had a bad choice of words, right? All right, sorry.
Sorry, my face.
I saw it in your face.
My,
yeah.
my face.
Listeners, I was reading Vanessa's face.
And it's,
I was underneath her. But anyway, I actually worked for a lady. She was my boss, Debbie. I can say who you was.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? And she was always professional looking. And then we had this after hours thing, and she let her hair down, and she was really pretty. And I told her so. I said, "Oh my gosh, you're so pretty." Did I break did I violate something?
No.
And I would have said the same thing to a guy, though. I would have said, "Holy cow, you look pretty good when you're not at work." You
That's
know?
right. When you're out of those jeans.
Yeah.
Robin, what are you doing after hours?
Out of those jeans.
Why are you saying this jeans? Robin,
So I would have.
I'm calling your boss.
Do I get in trouble? I mean, as the under. What do you call somebody who's not a boss? An underling? I'm an underling, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, no, that's a totally
You're an
different-
employee.
Do you like that term, underling?
I do. I've used it, but it's totally different facts and circumstances then. Because when you're a boss, you have a higher threshold of responsibility. And see, the problem also when you're the boss, like head honcho, it makes it harder for the people who are underneath you because who do they report to? Who do they tell?
Yeah.
There's no system.
The rule of thumb was just don't. What's the word? Socialize.
Fraternize.
You're not one of the boys.
Fraternize. Yeah, that's the word.
You're not one of the boys when you're in that kind of position.
So you
But
just
it's hard because there is such a high stress. I mean, it's a high stress job.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just don't think. I'm not saying it's right. He should think. I'm just saying sometimes you don't.
yeah.
So
And now how about the woman? Say the roles were reversed and maybe, in the office, like, the fella is doing paperwork and stuff like that, and then a woman employee comes up behind him and puts her arms around his shoulders and just says, "Ooh, what are you doing with that paper?"
Oh, like
Can
when
you-
you mean like when he's playing the piano, like that kind of circumstance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you can the guy claim sexual harassment?
absolutely, it's not. There is
I wouldn't have
absolutely
done
no thing that says a man can't be sexually harassed.
But would they? Would
I think
would a
it's-
man do that before? Do women do that more than men? Claim sexual harassment.
I think, this
Oh.
is just a very broad generalization. Please do not judge me, society. I think women get sexually harassed more in the workplace than men do, but I don't think that it's non-existent for men at all. I would never say that. It does occur. They do
Yeah.
suffer it. I think that society has a double standard. They hear a woman who's been sexually harassed and like, oh no, that should never occur. But when a guy has the same set of facts and circumstances, they look at him and they say, well, you're a man. Shouldn't you like that? Don't you like being talked? What's wrong with you?
Oh, that's awful.
So it's a double standard. So I
That's
think a lot of
horrible.
men just don't come forward. But the same thing happens with domestic violence and men who are abused. They don't like coming forward because there's that double standard. Women should never be hit, but you're a man. She was just a woman. Suck it up.
yeah.
So I think men really do have there is a double standard in society, and they get the short end of the stick when it comes to those things.
In a similar but different scenario,
Sure.
can a student in school who is being bullied sue the bullier or sue the bully? I mean,
Yes, but it depends on a lot of facts and circumstances.
because bullying is kind of the same? I mean, you
There is, but it depends on what they're saying. If they're saying, I mean, it just depends on how you're going to attack it. There's lots of different ways to attack it. Depends on the actual specific facts and circumstances. Let's say there's cyber stalking that's going involved. You can go through the cyber stalking crimes. If they're actually threatening them and assaulting them, you know, I will kill you after school. I will beat you up. I will, you know, punch you in your face. And they take some kind of step where it looks like they're going to do that. You know, those are different types. So it just depends on what's being said, how it's being done. But yes, there's ways to attack it at all points in time.
And now, how about if the person is of the same sex? Is it still termed sexual harassment?
If they're being treated differently for their gender, they're being treated that way because they are male and it's another male who's doing it to them, absolutely, because it doesn't matter. If it's a woman who's doing it to a woman, absolutely. If she's being treated differently because she is a woman.
Oh, that's interesting.
We will take a little break and we will be right back. Your phone questions are welcome, invited, and you can call during the break or after the break. The number is 622-9622. Vanessa Lane Jennings is here from the Jennings Law Firm. If calling Vanessa on the air is something you're not comfortable with, we absolutely get that. So we recommend that you go see Vanessa in person at 2945 Northeast 3rd Street on the second floor. To make an appointment, make a call to 804-0092, 804-0092. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Intervals of clouds and sun Friday. There can be a thunderstorm around, the high 88 to 92. Partly cloudy Friday night, low 72 to 76. For Saturday and Sunday, times of clouds and sun with an afternoon and evening thunderstorm popping up each day. The high both days, 88 to 92. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Looking to put your money to work? Florida Credit Union has a CD special, 25 months for 1.41% APY with a $10,000 minimum. Federally insured by the NCUA, a government agency. These rates effective through September 30th. Subject to change at any time. Visit one of Florida Credit Union's convenient locations today or their website, flcu.org, or call 352-237-8222. Don't miss this 25-month CD special. Again, the APY is 1.41%. Act now.
Hi, I'm Big Daddy Don Garlitz, asking you to support adoption by purchasing a Choose Life license plate from your county tag office. You know it costs a lot to give a child life. Many times a woman is forced to make a bad choice because of financial pressures. Help save the lives of the unborn children by aiding women whom choose life instead of abortion. Take a stand for life. Purchase your Choose Life license plate today. For more information, go to chooselife.org or call 352-624-2854.
Cookies, 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 cookies. We go cookie eating cookies.
When you want something special and fun for any occasion, get cookies. King Cookie in the Paddock Mall in Ocala will make a delicious, fun-filled delight just for you. So next time you're in the mall, stop by King Cookie or call 352-237-2557. KingCookieOcala.com. Customized cookies, cakes, and more. King Cookie.
Eating cookies. We're so happy eating cookies. Cookies!
Stay with us and sleep better at the Sleep Inn and Suites of Ocala Bellevue, located next door to Don Garlitt's Museum and a few minutes from Florida Horse Park. Our award-winning, newly refreshed Sleep Inn and Suites offers comfy, clean rooms, free fast Wi-Fi, and service with a smile. Start your day with a deluxe hot breakfast and unwind in our heated outdoor pool. Our convenient 24-hour fitness and business centers allow you to stay on track whether you're here to play or to work. That's Sleep Inn and Suites Ocala Bellevue, proud sponsor of Marion County High School football.
Career Source Citrus Levy Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source Citrus Levy Marion and learn how they can help you.
All right, 10 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Vanessa Lane Jennings is here, and this show is called Legal Lane. The overall show, it's confusing. The big show from 7 till noon is called AM Ocala Live, and it's got lots of little shows in it. This is one of them. It's called Legal Lane. Vanessa comes on Fridays and explains things to us that we want to understand about the law, and usually we draw from things in the news And usually it's national news. Today it just happens to be a local story. Not that we're trying to analyze the local circumstance with the police chief, but just how does that apply to the rest of us? Because when I read what he did, and I don't know everything that he did, and I'm not making any. Yeah, I'm not saying anything. All I'm saying is that could have been me. You know, in the Bible story, when Peter when
I'm
Peter
gonna go out on a limb and say no, but continue.
when Peter says, "Oh, I never know that guy, Jesus. I don't know that guy," because he was afraid that he was going to get arrested and had his head chopped off or something. That would have been me. I would deny it, but I would never be Judas. I'd never be the guy who takes the money and says, "No, I'm turning my friend in." See, I can relate biblically with this.
Okay, so you're not going to profit off of it. You're just gonna run away. Is that what I got out of this?
I'm not going to profit. No, but see, like in the case of sexual stuff, okay?
Okay.
And I don't know that I would do it now because I'm older. But when I was younger, I'm working in an environment. I'm in an office. There's some pretty ladies that I'm interested in. I could, put a note on her desk. Hey, am I harassing her in any way?
Okay, so the moment she tells you to stop, are you going to do it again?
No.
Okay, if she goes to her boss and her boss tells you, hey, stop your actions, are you going to do it again?
No, I would never do it again.
Right, so then because see, that's part of when you deal with sexual harassment claims.
Because I'm really good at rejection.
Jeez.
I am.
Sometimes I just can't with you. See,
and I wouldn't have said anything inappropriate in the note either. I wouldn't have said.
No, but you would be treating the person differently because of their gender.
Of course.
So, because you would not be doing it to Dan. So,
right.
Well established, he doesn't even get chocolates. So, so here's the difference. There's a chain of commands, and there's normally policies and procedures that every company has, or they're supposed to have when it comes to this. So, if the person, let's just say it's Robin. You did it to Robin, and Robin doesn't tell you because she feels uncomfortable telling you because you're her boss. I made him your boss. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
And then
You're not her boss. But
she's told me she's told me she's the boss. So it's
she
okay.
is.
But at that point in time, she can't go to you to tell you to stop because she feels uncomfortable. So she goes to your boss. Let's say she goes to Dan.
You're Dan.
And she tells Dan.
This would be some funny moment, wouldn't it?
Right.
This is why this has to be a reality show right here.
Right. No, at that point in time, this would all go downhill and there would be lots of lawsuits in the Jennings law firm. But at that point in time, you would go to Dan and say, hey, Dan, this is what's happening. Take care of it. If Dan does what he's supposed to do, Dan should be taking proactive steps and protecting you and your right to be non-harassed in the workplace when it comes to your gender. Goes over to Larry, says, Larry, stop. If you stop, we're done. You've met the burden has been met because you're no longer acting. But if you don't listen to Dan and you continue doing it, or if Dan doesn't come to you, or even if you continue to do it, he does come to you and you continue to do it, but Dan doesn't actually stop you or fire you or give you a new boss to move you around, stop the situation, then you're going to be putting this company at risk. Now, the difference is you would stop. So you're not actually going to be putting your business at risk. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That was a long-winded story
Yep.
to get to that.
Makes sense.
It's a horrible thing, though.
Yeah.
When you get this, what was it called? Rejected? It's been so
Yeah.
long, I haven't remembered the word even.
Here, let me remind you. I'll tell you stories of my life.
Well, this is a really interesting story because it is so much in the forefront and everything. And I mean, you hear different stories going back to Bill Clinton. I mean, I know that was a different set of circumstance.
Right.
She didn't say sexual harassment, but people could bring that up, that Clinton set precedents, and it's okay for public figures to go ahead and do that if you're in government.
Right, and the problem becomes in some situations. I'm not saying that situation, but just taking.
I wish this was a
situation
longer
like
show.
Talk to Dan. So the problem becomes with those situations is when it's consensual and when the consensual turns non-consensual, or it's only consensual because, of a power struggle. Those get into really weird legal battles.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The one thing I wanted to add to this before we run out of time, and we did have a caller calling in. I hope she calls back. She said she was going home and she'd call after she got home. part of the thing with the police chief is beyond sexual harassment is like discrimination. I'm assuming racial discrimination is what it is. I don't know. Just based on the people that were protesting outside the police office.
Well, and
Right.
those are completely different issues.
Yeah, completely different.
One is being treated differently because of your gender. One's
Is it a harder case for the attorney?
Well, no, because they're all going through the EEOC, so they all have to file the same complaint with either the EEOC or FCHR. One state level, FCHR being state level, and then EEOC being your federal.
Oh.
It doesn't matter which one you choose, but you choose one.
Mm-hmm.
You file your complaint. You wait 180 days for them to review it. And I'm telling you, a lot of
Oh my
times they don't
gosh.
even review it, and 180 days go well past that.
Really?
But you have to wait that period of time, and they make the decision. I am being honest. A lot of times they say no, or they say they can't decide. They're not sure, so they leave it up to the courts to decide. And that's just when it becomes a litigious thing. And I would say 95% of our cases always settled.
Oh my gosh.
If they've got an unconclusive.
Is that the recommendation normally, is to settle out of court? It's a lot cheaper?
Well, it depends on who you represent, what the facts and circumstances are, and what the settlement offer is. There's so many variables.
Well, I'm so disappointed the lady isn't calling in, and we got 3 minutes left in the show. Ma'am, if you're listening and you have a legal question, I would advise you call Vanessa at her office. That's the best thing. I mean, seriously, right? 804-0092. That's the number. We'll mention it once again. And by the way, before we leave also, call us. If you ever need a number we announce on the radio, Vanessa's number or any of them, just call us.
That's right.
So how do you know, say like you're fighting for your client and they're suing somebody, how do you know what's a realistic number monetarily to sue for?
It depends on the case.
Oh.
It depends if there's any type of damages. If there's, is it something where there's actually economic damages? Is there something where it hindered their ability to progress in that job because they didn't act out, so didn't have advancements? I mean, you're going to have to look at a lot of different facts and circumstances. Each case is very specific, and you look at it holistically.
Oh, okay.
And then it sounds bad, but then you put a price tag on it.
Yeah.
How do you determine that? Do you always shoot high with the dollar amount? It seems like when you see lawsuits, they're really high.
Most people shoot, I would say, about 3 times about what they expect to get. I mean, that's an average. I don't, I've heard various different things at various different seminars, conferences, different ways people do it, but that tends to be what I see. Because I do defense as well, so.
So if somebody sued me and won $1 million against me,
Right.
well, how the heck are they going to get it from me? I don't have $1 million. What are they going to do?
They'll have a judgment against you for.
Which means that what does that
4
mean?
years.
Does that mean my paycheck goes right to them?
If they garnish your wages.
Oh, wow. How do I live?
But you would be cleaning head of households, and we would have other things. We'd work on that.
Ramen noodles. I'll be living on ramen noodles.
Yes, you will.
I do ask the protection. I'll help you. Don't you worry. I got you.
Yes, you do.
Got my back. Less than a minute. For the lady who called, the woman who called. See, this is an issue too. Sometimes in New York, don't they say now you have to be careful with how you address somebody? Lady, woman, ma'am?
I have no idea what happens in the state of New York.
In the city.
I am trying hard enough to figure out, what's going on in our little town from day-to-day basis.
Well, enjoy your first weekend of autumn.
I will.
Yes.
In this beautiful weather.
Testosterone levels rise in the autumn for both men and women.
Okay, so my hair will be growing. Gotcha.
There you go.
Thank you,
my voice will
Vanessa.
be
Call
deepening.
Vanessa. Let me give you the number one more time. Vanessa's office is 804-0092. And thank you, Vanessa. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM.